Your prostate is screaming for help. Every night when you wake up at 2 a.m., then again at 4 a.m., then once more before dawn, your prostate is sending you a desperate message. But here's what shocked me after 20 years of functional medicine practice. The solution isn't in some expensive supplement bottle. It's sitting in your grocery store right now, costing less than your morning coffee. I'm Dr. Michael Stone, and I've helped thousands of men over 50 reclaim their nights, their confidence, and their masculine vitality, using just 4 foods that cost under $10 total. What I'm about to share with you will challenge everything your urologist told you about managing prostate health. Because while they're recommending procedures and pharmaceuticals, there's a growing body of research from institutions like the Cleveland Clinic and NIH showing that specific compounds found in everyday foods can literally reverse prostate inflammation and restore normal function. But you need to know exactly which foods, in what amounts, and how to prepare them. Most men get this completely wrong. Let me tell you about Robert, a 58-year-old contractor who came to my office last year. He was waking up 6 times every night. His stream had weakened to barely a trickle, and he was terrified every bathroom visit might be his last normal one. His PSA was climbing, his anxiety was through the roof, and his wife was sleeping in the guest room because he was up so much. Traditional medicine offered him 2 choices: wait and watch, or start considering surgical intervention. Robert chose a third option. He followed the exact protocol I'm sharing with you today. 30 days later, he was sleeping through the night. His stream was strong again. His PSA dropped by 40%, and he felt like himself for the first time in years. The pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to know this, but your prostate has an incredible capacity for healing when you give it the right tools. What's happening inside your prostate right now isn't just aging. It's a perfect storm of inflammation, hormonal imbalance, and cellular damage that conventional medicine treats as inevitable. But it's not inevitable. The reason most men suffer needlessly is because they don't understand the mechanism. Your prostate grows larger because of an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase that converts testosterone into dihydrotestosterone, or DHT. Too much DHT signals your prostate cells to multiply uncontrollably. At the same time, chronic inflammation from poor diet, stress, and environmental toxins creates a hostile environment where healthy prostate tissue breaks down faster than it can repair itself. Your prostate becomes like a garden choked with weeds while the good plants struggle to survive. The smooth muscle around your urethra becomes tight and inflexible, like a garden hose with a kink in it. Blood flow becomes restricted, oxygen and nutrients can't reach the cells that need them most, and waste products accumulate. What you feel as frequent urgency, weak flow, and that terrible sense that you can never completely empty your bladder. This is why generic advice like eat healthy doesn't work. You need specific compounds that target each part of this destructive cycle. You need natural DHT blockers. You need powerful anti-inflammatories. You need nutrients that support healthy blood flow and cellular repair. And you need them in therapeutic doses, not the trace amounts found in a typical Western diet. I've spent the last 2 decades studying functional medicine approaches to men's health, combining the best of conventional urology with evidence-based natural interventions. I've worked with men from their 50s to their 90s, and I've seen remarkable transformations when you address the root cause instead of just managing symptoms. The NIH has funded multiple studies on nutritional interventions for prostate health, and the results are stunning. We're talking about significant improvements in international prostate symptom scores, dramatic reductions in nighttime urination, and measurable decreases in prostate volume. But you have to know exactly what to do. There are 4 specific foods that contain the exact compounds your prostate needs to heal itself. These aren't exotic superfoods that cost a fortune. These are simple, everyday foods that you can find in any grocery store. Together, they cost less than what most men spend on a single bottle of saw palmetto that probably isn't even doing anything. What makes these 4 foods so powerful is that they work synergistically. Each one targets a different aspect of prostate dysfunction, and when you combine them in the right proportions, they create a therapeutic effect that's more powerful than the sum of their parts. Let me walk you through each one and explain exactly why it works. The first food is tomatoes, but not just any tomatoes. You need cooked tomatoes. And here's why this matters more than you might think. Tomatoes contain a compound called lycopene, which is one of the most potent natural DHT blockers ever discovered. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition followed 47,000 men for 12 years and found that those who consumed the most lycopene had a 21% lower risk of prostate cancer. But here's the crucial part most people miss. Raw tomatoes contain lycopene, but it's bound up in the cell walls where your body can't access it effectively. When you cook tomatoes with a little fat, the heat breaks down those cell walls, and the fat helps your body absorb the lycopene. We're talking about a 300 to 500% increase in bioavailability. Robert started eating a cup of crushed tomatoes cooked with olive oil every single day. Within 2 weeks, his nighttime bathroom trips dropped from 6 to 3. The second food is pumpkin seeds, and the research on these little powerhouses will blow your mind. Pumpkin seeds are loaded with zinc, which your prostate needs more than any other organ in your body. Your prostate contains the highest concentration of zinc of any tissue, and when zinc levels drop, prostate problems begin almost immediately. A German study gave men with enlarged prostates pumpkin seed oil for 3 months. The results? A 40% improvement in peak urinary flow and a significant reduction in post-void residual urine. That means stronger streams and better emptying. But pumpkin seeds do something else that's remarkable. They contain compounds called phytosterols that naturally block the 5-alpha reductase enzyme I mentioned earlier. Think of it as nature's finasteride, but without the devastating side effects on sexual function. You need about a quarter cup of raw pumpkin seeds daily, and I recommend soaking them overnight to improve digestibility. The third food is green tea, but timing is everything. Green tea contains a compound called EGCG, epigallocatechin gallate, which is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatories in nature. Japanese men have some of the lowest rates of prostate problems in the world, and researchers believe their high consumption of green tea is a major factor. EGCG doesn't just reduce inflammation, it actually helps repair damaged prostate tissue by promoting healthy cell division and blocking the signals that tell prostate cells to grow out of control. But here's what most people don't know. EGCG is destroyed by heat and degrades rapidly once exposed to air. You need to brew your green tea at exactly 175 degrees Fahrenheit. Steep it for no more than 3 minutes and drink it within an hour. Most people are drinking green tea wrong and getting almost no therapeutic benefit. You need 3 cups daily, spread throughout the day, never with meals because the compounds in food can interfere with absorption. The fourth food might surprise you because it's often considered unhealthy, but I'm talking about small fatty fish like sardines and mackerel. These fish are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, which are essential for prostate health. Chronic inflammation is one of the primary drivers of prostate enlargement, and omega-3s are among the most potent anti-inflammatory compounds available. A Harvard study of 47,885 men found that those who consumed the most omega-3 fatty acids had a significantly lower risk of developing aggressive prostate problems. But here's why sardines and mackerel are superior to supplements. These fish also contain selenium, vitamin D, and a compound called astaxanthin that work together with the omega-3s to create a powerful healing effect. The key is getting at least 2 grams of combined EPA and DHA daily, which means eating about 4 ounces of these fish 3 times per week. Most men are getting maybe 200 milligrams daily from their diet, which explains why inflammation runs rampant. Now here's where most men make a critical mistake. They try one food at a time, or they don't prepare them properly, or they give up after a week when they don't see immediate results. Prostate healing is a process, not an event. Your prostate didn't get inflamed overnight, and it won't heal overnight. But when you consistently provide your body with these 4 therapeutic foods in the right amounts, the changes begin at the cellular level within days. One thing I started recommending to my patients is tracking their symptoms daily, because consistency is everything with this protocol. There's actually an app designed for exactly this kind of holistic tracking that I put the link to in the pinned comment if you want to check it out. The data shows that men who track their progress daily have significantly better outcomes because they can see patterns and adjust accordingly. After about 7 to 10 days, most men notice they're sleeping slightly longer between bathroom trips. By day 14, the urgency starts to diminish. Around day 21, they notice their stream getting stronger. And by day 30, many men report feeling like they did years ago. But there are specific ways you need to prepare and combine these foods to maximize their effectiveness. For the tomatoes, you want to cook a can of crushed tomatoes with 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, a pinch of black pepper, and some fresh basil. The black pepper contains piperine, which dramatically increases the absorption of lycopene. Eat half a cup with lunch and half a cup with dinner. For the pumpkin seeds, buy them raw and soak a 1/4 cup overnight in filtered water. In the morning, drain them and eat them on an empty stomach, about 30 minutes before breakfast. This maximizes zinc absorption when stomach acid is highest. For the green tea, invest in a good thermometer and time your brewing carefully. Drink 1 cup mid-morning, 1 mid-afternoon, and 1 in early evening, never within 2 hours of meals. For the fish, choose wild-caught sardines or mackerel packed in olive oil, not water. The oil helps with the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins and provides additional omega-3s. Eat them with a salad that includes dark leafy greens, which provide folate that works synergistically with omega-3s. Let me share another patient story that illustrates the power of this approach. James was 62, a retired teacher who had been dealing with prostate issues for over 5 years. His PSA had been slowly climbing. He was up 4 or 5 times every night, and he was seriously considering surgery. His urologist was monitoring him every 6 months, and each visit brought worse news. James was skeptical when I first explained this food-based approach. He had tried saw palmetto, lycopene supplements, and everything else without success. But he committed to the full protocol for 90 days. The first month, he noticed subtle improvements. Better sleep, less urgency during the day. By month 2, his nighttime trips were down to maybe twice a night. But it was at his 3-month checkup that everyone was stunned. His PSA had dropped from 4.8 to 2.9. His urologist said he'd never seen such a dramatic improvement from nutritional changes alone. James called it his miracle, but I call it the power of addressing root causes instead of just managing symptoms. The key insight that changed everything for James was understanding that prostate health is really about systemic inflammation and hormonal balance. When you address these underlying issues with targeted nutrition, everything improves. Not just prostate symptoms, but energy, mood, sleep quality, and overall vitality. This isn't just about avoiding prostate problems. It's about optimizing your masculine health for the decades ahead. Recent research from Johns Hopkins shows that men who maintain healthy prostates well into their 70s and 80s share certain dietary patterns. They consume high amounts of lycopene, zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, and polyphenols. Exactly the compounds found in these 4 foods. But timing matters more than most people realize. Your body's ability to absorb and utilize these nutrients follows circadian rhythms. Zinc absorption is highest in the morning, when stomach acid production peaks. Lycopene absorption improves when consumed with the largest meal of the day. Omega-3s are best absorbed when taken with fat-containing meals. EGCG from green tea is most effective when stomach pH is neutral, which happens between meals. This is why the specific timing protocol I outlined is so important. Random supplementation doesn't work because it doesn't account for your body's natural rhythms. There's also a synergistic effect that happens when you combine these foods correctly. The lycopene from tomatoes enhances the anti-inflammatory effects of omega-3s. The zinc from pumpkin seeds helps your body produce more of the enzymes needed to metabolize EGCG from green tea. The selenium in fish works with zinc to support healthy prostate cell division. Nature designed these nutrients to work together, which is why whole food approaches are almost always superior to isolated supplements. I want to address the most common objection I hear. Dr. Stone, I've tried natural approaches before and they didn't work. Here's why this approach is different. First, most men try one supplement at a time, usually in doses that are too low to be therapeutic. Second, they don't address preparation and absorption, so they're not getting the compounds into their bloodstream effectively. Third, they give up before the healing process has time to complete. Prostate tissue regenerates slowly. You need at least 30 days of consistent intervention to see measurable changes, and optimal results often take 60 to 90 days. The other issue is quality. Not all tomatoes are created equal. Look for organic crushed tomatoes in BPA-free cans. The best pumpkin seeds come from organic pumpkins and should be stored in the refrigerator to prevent rancidity. Green tea quality varies dramatically. You want organic, loose-leaf tea from a reputable supplier, not tea bags that have been sitting on shelves for months. For fish, wild-caught is essential because farmed fish often contain contaminants and have lower omega-3 levels. But even when you do everything right with these 4 foods, there are 3 additional factors that can make or break your results. First is hydration. Your prostate needs adequate hydration to function properly, but you need to time your fluid intake correctly. Drink most of your water in the morning and early afternoon, then taper off several hours before bed. This prevents nighttime urgency while ensuring your prostate has the hydration it needs for optimal function. Second is stress management. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which directly interferes with testosterone metabolism and promotes inflammation. Even the best nutrition can't overcome the effects of chronic stress. Simple breathing exercises, regular movement, and adequate sleep are not optional if you want optimal prostate health. Third is avoiding foods that actively harm your prostate. Sugar and processed foods promote inflammation. Alcohol disrupts hormone metabolism. Excessive caffeine can worsen urinary symptoms. You don't have to be perfect, but you need to be consistent with avoiding the worst offenders. Let me give you a simple daily routine that incorporates everything I've shared. Wake up and drink a large glass of filtered water with a pinch of sea salt. 30 minutes later, eat your soaked pumpkin seeds. Have breakfast with protein and healthy fats, avoiding excess carbohydrates. Mid-morning, drink your first cup of properly brewed green tea. Lunch should include your first serving of cooked tomatoes with olive oil. Mid-afternoon, your second cup of green tea. Dinner should include your fish serving and second portion of tomatoes. Early evening, your final cup of green tea. Stop drinking fluids 2 hours before bed, except for small sips if needed. This routine ensures optimal absorption and timing while supporting your body's natural healing processes. Most men notice improvements within the first week, with significant changes by day 30. But remember, you're reversing years or decades of damage, so patience and consistency are essential. The men who get the best results are those who view this as a lifestyle change, not a temporary intervention. They understand that prostate health is an investment in their future quality of life. If you found this information valuable, subscribe for more evidence-based natural approaches to men's health. I share new research and protocols every week based on the latest functional medicine discoveries. And remember, the tracking app I mentioned is linked in the pinned comment below. Taking control of your prostate health isn't just about avoiding problems. It's about reclaiming your confidence, your sleep, your peace of mind, and your masculine vitality. These 4 simple foods can be the foundation of that transformation. Your prostate has been calling for help. Now you know exactly how to answer that call.